Hello again, everybody. John Boutte, Buffalo Sports Museum. We're back in the vault. After a couple weeks off, we took a little break and we're back with a new segment in the vault, the Buffalo Sports Museum. Today, we're going to talk about three of the most popular athletes that ever played for a Buffalo sports team. And as you can tell, these three guys right here: Gilbert Perreault, Richard Martin, and Rene Robert, the French Connection. And as I said, three of the most popular and respected players in Buffalo sports history. These three guys literally put the Sabres on the map. As exciting and popular as the team was in the early 1970-71 season, it got even better when this guy, Rene Robert, was acquired from the Pittsburgh Penguins for Eddie Shack on March 4th, 1972. And believe it or not, at the time, it was an unpopular trade in Buffalo. People in Buffalo really liked Eddie Shack. And why not? His nickname was the Entertainer. He was exciting. He was fun. He was goofy. You didn't know what he was going to do next. That famous photo of Robert jumping on the back of Jerry Amon of the Seals, and shows that in dramatic fashion. He was a very popular player. But the Sabres needed a tough, gritty forward who wasn't scared to go in the corners. And they saw this guy in Robert, and they said, let's go get him. So the Penguins dealt him to Buffalo. When he came to Buffalo, he didn't immediately join Martin and Perreault on that line. It took him until the next season for Joe Crozier to realize that Martin and Perreault were missing a right winger. And when he stuck Robert on that line, the French Connection was born. And it's funny because the name French Connection didn't start right away. The three French-Canadian guys were playing together, and they actually, I remember this in the newspapers, were trying to come up with a nickname for these three guys, for this line. And I remember one of the names that they called them was the RPM line. R for Robert, P for Perreault, M for Martin. And it just didn't work. So one night in a game at the Odd, I can't remember who it was who scored. It might have been Perreault. It might have been Martin. I don't even know. It might have been Robert. But the man who was manning the board at the Sabres games along the side of the Oranges was Lee Coppola. Lee Coppola, respected journalist in Western New York, worked, I believe, at Channel 4, maybe Channel 7, Buffalo News. And when a goal was scored by one of them, and it said something like, Perreault gets his 10th from Martin and Robert. It's a French Connection. And that stuck. That stuck. So the name French Connection was born. Popular movie at the time, The French Connection. I think Gene Hackman was the star. Very popular movie. And it just fit. It was perfect. And that was the beginning of the French Connection line. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about a specific thing in French Connection history. And it was in the day, it was very, very, I don't know what to call it. It wasn't very popular, but it was a breakthrough in sports memorabilia. And it was very early in collecting sports memorabilia time, because not a lot of people collected things other than maybe gum cards, which I think we all started with. There's a Rick Martin rookie card, Perot, Robert. But this item right here, goal pucks. In the early 1970s, the NHL came up with an idea to market and sell goals scored pucks to fans. And I think it was a brilliant idea. And like I said, something like this had never been done before that I can think of. Maybe somewhere along the line somebody was selling game equipment or something like that, but nothing on a mass scale like the NHL came up with. And what they did is when a goal was scored, the referee would go over, grab the puck out of the net, bring it over to the timekeeper's box, and they would label it with the date of the game and who scored it, and put a little code on there. This Martin one from December 27th, 1973 has a code BS-2-110. Obviously, the BS stands for Buffalo Sabres. Don't know how the other codes were deciphered, and they put a little sticker on the back. It simply is a game puck of the day, and they marketed that. And I believe in the hockey news, they would list the pucks they would have for that week, and you would write in. I think it may have been $10, maybe $1 shipping or something like that, and you could get a goal puck scored by your favorite player. This one's René Robert, February 8th, 1973. Again, BS-1-192. And this one from Perot. This was a little bit different way of doing it. This was very early in their way of collecting and marketing pucks. They put these on a little metal plaque, a nice hard metal plaque, and they put it on there and sold it with the plaque on there, which I believe they probably realized, why do that when we can put just about everything we need on the sticker. So this one here, this Perot one, is unbelievably rare. I've never seen another one. This is the only one I've seen of a Buffalo Sabre. I've seen others for different teams, but never a Buffalo Sabre. And very cool. You could own the actual puck that one of the players scored, which is kind of neat. And like I said, in sports memorabilia collecting and how huge it's become, enormous in what it's become with collecting sports memorabilia, this was a very early idea. And unfortunately, it didn't really stay around long. It was only there for, I believe, 2 seasons, 72, 73, and 73, 74, and then they kind of abandoned it, and it's a shame. And when one of these pucks shows up at auction, they go for enormous amounts of money. We're talking, if they're a Hall of Famer like Perot, we're talking in the thousands of dollars. And even big names like Martin and Robert, even if not in the Hall of Fame, they go for big money. I mean, upwards of $600, $700, $800 a piece. So if you can find those, really great collectible. The French Connection, what a wonderful, wonderful time it was in Buffalo from 1972 to 1979. Ironic that it ended in a René Robert trade when he was shipped off to Colorado for John Van Boxmeer by Scotty Bowman. As a side note, I got to play golf several times with Rennie, and he was just a wonderful man. Everybody just loved Rennie, and got to know him fairly well. I like to say I became friends with Rennie. But I asked him on the golf course one time who was the best coach he ever played for. And his response kind of shocked me. He said Scotty Bowman, which is ironic because he was only playing for Bowman for such a short time in the preseason in 1979-80 before he was traded. And I said to him, I said, I find that hard to believe because he's the guy that traded you. He's the guy that broke up the French connection. And he said he didn't necessarily say he liked Scotty Bowman. He just said the best coach he ever played for. And that's true. Scotty Bowman, probably the best coach in National Hockey League history. Anyway, we hope you liked this segment. French Connection, very, very dear and near and dear to the hearts of Western New Yorkers. And I thought you would like to see some of the stuff we have. Hope you liked the segment. We'll see you next time. The Buffalo Sports Museum in the vault. Pass it around. Share it with your friends. Send us ideas. See you next time. Bye.